Right. So our demo begins here on the welcome section of the landing page. And in order to create your promotional events, you need to register on the platform. So let's begin by clicking here on the sign in button. Right. So, well, if you want to create an account, you'll have to use this button. So you just click right here, and it brings you to this section. Now, I won't be creating a new account because I already have one, but this is very simple, very straightforward. All you have to do is pass in your email address, and once you continue to sign up, you're going to receive a verification link in your inbox. And once you click on that link, it's going to bring you into the form, and then you're going to have to just fill out that form and follow the steps. It's very simple, very straightforward. Very, and it's really quick, so you won't have to worry about anything. But for this demo, I just want to get into it. So let me show you how to create promotional events. So I'm going to go back to sign in, right? And here I'm going to fill out these details and sign in. Great, we're in. So we start here on the event side. Move over here to list event. Well, let me show you something real quick. So this is exactly where your events would appear once you create an event. I'll come back here to show you once we've created our first event. So once all the details have been filled, we can proceed to sign in, and we're in. So this is what your dashboard looks like, right? And below here you have recent transactions. When tickets are purchased, you get to see all of this information here, and all these cards here they're basically analytic widgets, and clicking on them takes you to see like the full data. So right now, it's just one event that I have, which is the wine tasting event. And moving around is very simple. These are your controls. They're basically navigation links. So when you find yourself in here, you have the home button here. You just click on it. It brings you back here. So let's just let's create our first event. Without any further ado. So you come over here to the create events, and this is what you see. This is a form, right? To create an event, it begins with providing the details for the event. Then you have to set a time and date for when it'll start, set the location details, and then your ticket information, and then publish. Very simple. Now we're going to call our event. So we're going to call this event a sip and chill soiree. Yeah. And this event will be happening at our lounge. So we'll be hosting our guests at our lounge. Yeah. So now because we want our guests to make reservations, we're going to set this event type to RSVP, and this would also help make sure that the naming of things are precise, so it reflects what it is that we're really trying to accomplish here. So a theme for this, we could call this sorry, this tells your guests what to expect, basically. Now, for the visibility setting, you could set your event to, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, for the visibility here, you can either have a public or private event. And if you set the event to private, right, what that means is it's not going to be shown on the guest side of the system, right? Because the assumption is that you intend to send invites via email. So you would have to upload a guest list, you would have to draft, or rather compose an invitation message. I'll be showing you that in another demo, right? But for this one, we're just going to make a public event, just so that we get to see it on the guest side of the system. So let's proceed to setting this field. It's literally a sip and chill. And so description rather, we could say so pardon if my description isn't the best, but just for the sake of the demo, I'm just trying to show you what these fields are, and the data you'll be expected to pass into them. So next we're going to upload a file, which will serve as the image for the event, and of course we can do that by clicking this button right here. So our image has been uploaded successfully. Now we'll proceed to the next phase, which is schedule. And so ideally what you'd want to do here is to set a start date for your event, making sure that you have enough time to be able to sell your tickets, right? So or at least to be able to process bookings. The farther, of course, the better, but I mean, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. So but for this, I'm just going to set this on the 26th. Whatever start date works for you. We could say this, you set this by 4 p.m. to end by 8 p.m. The system calculates the duration of this event, registers it as well. Now, you could use this checkbox if your event is going to be recurring, right? So what this does for you is that the system will automatically publish, right, the event again even after it's expired. It's just going to determine when next to be able to publish it again. But the system does allow you to edit certain details about the event. Maybe you want to adjust the start date and time, so yeah, you could do that as well. So you have event types. You have online and hybrid, but we're going to be sticking with physical events for now. So venue name, we're going to use the name of our lounge, our imaginary lounge. Call it the Lounge Lagos. Because this is a global marketplace, experiential marketplace platform, what this means is that if you have branches of your business overseas, this allows you to be able to specify the location from region, country, state, city in that order, and then we set this here. Now, if you don't see your city in the drop down, don't be worried, because the system will take in custom input, so that's not a problem. Street address, I'll just set this to number 1 Admiralty. Postal code is optional. Venue notes, this providing extra information information that might be relevant, things you probably want to let your guests know. Here, I'll just set this, I'll set a dress code here. Accessibility here, you can specify, what the accessibility options are for your location. You could set as many of these fields as possible, but then again, you could also, ignore it if it doesn't apply to your venue. Now we're here at this step, which is where we create our reservation type. If you selected the event type to be just event, this would be referred to as just tickets, right? But it's treated the same, sort of. So yeah, reservation type, we could call this table for two. Minimum spend here, you can set this value to 60,000, whatever amount that you're offering. Phone number here. Description here, this reserves a table 2. Quantity available, you would know, or at least you should know, the seating arrangement of your venue, or rather capacity, so you don't make more of these reservation types available than what your space can actually accommodate. So here we're just going to say 5. Maximum purchase limit, we're going to set this to 1. We don't want a customer buying more than one of these reservations. And perks, we could say free bottle of wine. All right, you can add as many perks as possible. Then save reservation type. Now, this is a preview of all the data that we've passed into the system, right? And you could just preview it here. Of course, platform fees apply, and of course, if you want to create more reservation types, all you have to do is click on this button right here, and you're going to be presented with the same form fields, right? So you could do that you can create as many as possible. And then we head over to preview, and this is where we get to see everything. Our image, date, location, name of event, etc. Right? Quick validation checklist here. And when you get to the publish now, in no time our event is published, and voila. Now if we come back to the guest side of the system, we should see our events right here. Let's just refresh real quick. There you go. So yeah, we created our promotional event called Sip and Chill, and this is everything that the customer needs to see. And of course, you can toggle this here depending on what view you prefer. So here we can just go ahead and book this reservation, and then I'll provide my name. So it's a demo, so I'm just showing you, with the tests API from Paystack, but of course on our live server, all this is fully functional. But this is just to give you a sense of, what to expect and how the system works. And so if we come back in here, I actually received an email. So for every time a ticket or a reservation is made, you receive an email that alerts you. And of course, as a customer, I also get to see the email. In fact, let me show it to you real quick. So this is the ticket that I purchased. It comes with a QR code that can be scanned, at entry, and then this is a ticket code here, which um, you'd be able to validate. And let me show you where you'll be able to validate this ticket code. So if we come over here to the events section, right, and then we no attendees, pardon me, and so this is the event, right? Sip and chill. As you can see, a guest's attendee status is pending, and then if we want to actually admit this guest, so moving back into the event section. So basically, if you want to check in this your guests, generally speaking, you'd have to come to the event itself, and then you have your check-in right here for this particular event. So once you click on this here, I'll need to pass in that email. The ticket ID right here. Search, voila. So my attendee data has been returned, and as you can see, these are like the basic information of the guests, and we could check this person in, and once they're checked in, if we come back in here, you can see that they've been validated, right? And so you can actually view all validated persons, attendees, and pending, right? But of course, if there isn't anyone pending, you're not gonna get any data, But yeah, so this is like a really beautiful, insight into how the admin system works, at least for creating promotional events that are public. So let me quickly just show you other things, in here, like the analytics, for example. Now, I want to mention something very important. If you're using ad blockers in your browser, right, like all the new blog, there's one particular wicked ad blocker I have. It's called Ghost, I think Ghost Tree, something like that. It's very strong, and so what it does is it prevents a lot of code blocking. I mean, it prevents a lot of scripts, JavaScripts running, which does affect your ability to see some data. So you might actually want to turn it off and refresh your browser, right, to be able to see the data. So yeah, I just turned mine off and refreshed. That's why we can see it. So at least from 2 different events, you can see, right, that this user, purchased tickets, right? And of course, you can view all, if there's more data to be seen, there's a transaction reference for you, and all of that. And so you can export the data as well. And of course, set custom range, for like a period that you want to see, your revenue and all of that. And, this is also very important because with this, you can actually measure the performance of your events, right? All this numeric data gives you insights into how your events have been doing over 7 days, 14, 30, 90 days, and so on and so forth, right? So if we come back here, you can get to see tickets sold, right? All we needed to do is just refresh this. But yeah, you can see that we have the information for tickets that, number of tickets sold so far, and the total revenue generated from there. And obviously, this figure here tallies with your total revenue. So all these things really does help, keep your business in check. Maybe just in case you have 1 or 2 admin staff managing it, this audits everything. You can keep track of everything, and you basically have all the data you need to know how your events are performing. Now, To round it up, I'll show you this section here, the user guide slash help. So you have all you know information that helps you just understand precisely what the whole system is about, just in case you need to learn about some things, and then of course there's the contact information here. Feel free to reach out, and to in case you would like to schedule a live demo, we could show you more things as well, or if you have any questions specifically that you might want to ask, please feel free to reach out to us at this email, or you could also reach out to us on WhatsApp via the number here. This is on the help support. This is on the user help, screen. So that's really that's all for now, folks. So feel free to create your account, get started. If you need help, just like I said, reach out and we'll respond promptly. Thank you.